had for the show that you created.
Yeah.
You created TGIF.
I did.
And talk to me about the reasons why you wanted to create a show that showcased you and your friends who are these beautiful, amazing Black gay men to be able to have a platform and talk about things that we all talk about in our regular lives, but you wanted to provide that to the screen.
I want to clear, it's not a gay show, right?
Right.
And that sometimes would bother me when I'd hear that, right? And let me explain why. I have always been irritated when I would see certain reality stars have a gay man as their pet, and they would treat them as such. I felt like not a lot, but some women were using gay men as an accessory. And that never sat right with me. And as you see, and all the shows I've done with you, I've never done that. I hadn't come with my gay that's supposed to just like listen to everything I say, fawn over me, always, yes, and hype me up. That's not me. I never liked that. I always thought like, how demeaning that must feel for that person. I might make you feel good as a star that someone's like, catering to your every need and telling you what you want to hear and telling you how bad you are. But is that all the value you see in this person? When they disagree with you, do you throw them away? And I never liked when I saw that. So that was always in the back of my mind. So I was doing Out Loud with Claudia on Fox Soul, and that was 4 nights a week. And it was just hosted by me. And during the pandemic, things got a little mundane because you kind of run out of things. We can't do live in-person interviews. So we had a show with Vivica, Lisa Ray, and Selena as guests. It was just going to be like a one-night thing, right? We're going to have cocktails with these ladies. And it went so well that I instantly called James Dubose after the show, and I said, I would love this to be a thing and replace Out Loud with Claudia Jordan on Mondays with this version of the show. And James said, you want to give up one of your nights and share with others? I said, yeah, I do. He goes, are you sure? I said, yeah. I said, I'm a team player, and I recognize the value in this. If it's a better show or it's entertaining, it was actually exciting for me because it gets boring just by yourself. Like, okay, tell me about your business, And I loved it. I'm a girl that was on a track team. I was on a relay team, All-American relay team. I'm a team player. I like that. And I said, no, if this is going to be a good show and bring numbers to the network, and I actually enjoyed it, I'm okay with sharing. And 3 more jobs for 3 other sisters out there. Not that they needed it, but easy money in your pocket through the pandemic. It was a reason for us to get dressed during depressing times. Every Monday night we would get made up, and it was like almost a sense of normalcy, like getting back out there. There was no red carpets. There was no premieres, none of that. When they agreed, I was like, yes, and it blew up the network. We went viral every single week, and I loved it. And I just got my wheels just, spinning like, I would love to do a male version of this. I didn't say I want to do a gay male version of this. I want to do a version of this. So, thinking about different talents, different people. Okay, nothing really got kicked off. I went to Cynthia Bailey's wedding. And I was going to ride to Cynthia's wedding with Gary with the T. So he picked me up in his beautiful car. And Al Reynolds was in the lobby, and, he didn't have a ride or whatever. And so I said, you want to ride with us? And he did. And the ride we're in a beautiful car. I won't put his business on blast.
No, I've been inside Gary with the T's car.
Okay.
It's straight line. It's it's nice.
It's like what the ballers have and the rappers have, okay? Like beautiful stars on the ceiling. It's beautiful. So on the way to the wedding, it was my ex-boyfriend KJ, me, Gary, and Al. And it was so fun. Like it was so random. I love random days. So we're getting like Happy Meals and stuff. Like we're getting like some bullshit ass food in this like $400,000 car. And I hit KJ, I was like, this is funny. Like this whole, like all of us together is hilarious. So we get to the wedding. I see Funky Dineva. Now, I wasn't close with him, like in passing, he's done some commentary that has mentioned me before. We weren't friends or anything like that. But I saw him, and I love when he's in his Quentin Latham bag as opposed to the funky, like with the makeup. I liked him, the Quentin Latham version. I think he's very intelligent.
Oh, he's very smart.
He really is. Mm-hmm. So when I saw him, I was like, a light bulb went off, like, those two, him. I think this is a thing. So we had a fun time that night. Al stole a bottle of wine from bars, but that's what he does. Q was like shaking his head like, girl, Gary's just being Gary. It was so fun. And I think a day or two later, I reached out to all of them and I sent them individual texts. I didn't tell them each what it was. I even had the text still on my phone. I said, hey, would you be interested in doing some television? That was the cue. He said, yeah, I'm definitely open to it. Al, of course, was saying yes, and Gary had been doing stuff, so they all said yes. I didn't tell them what the name. I didn't have the name, and to be full disclosure, I never named the show. I'm really bad at names for shows, but I'm good with the concept, and I'm good at putting groups of people together. So I went to James and I said, hey, I want to try this. I think this could be a good show at Fox Soul. Can we have them as guests on my Friday show and just feel it out and just see? I want you to see if there's magic. If I'm right, you're gonna go with this. He's like, no problem. So we did it. And it was undeniable, episode 1. Everyone's Wi-Fi. Gary with the T don't know anything about Wi-Fi. He's like an old lady, right? Just, what am I doing? And hit the button. It was a mess, but it was so like, the unpolishedness of it all made it good. And we enjoyed talking to each other. And so after one episode, it was really obvious that this needed to be a thing. So immediately, the network was like, they recognized it, they saw it, and they were like, yes, like this needs to be a show. Me on the business side, being so trusting, being so ambitious and so happy to just get it on, I didn't protect myself on the business side. Like I didn't own the IP, I let them name it.
And just so people know, the IP is the intellectual property.
Yes.
So that's what IP stands for.
Yes.
So you didn't name the show. You may have created the concept.
And I casted it.
And you cast it, but you didn't protect yourself in the business sense. Go ahead.
I did not protect myself, but I felt very like trusting at the time. James has my back. I'm like, oh, it's going to be fine. We'll figure it out later. I made a grave mistake doing that. And now I think a lot of things would have played out differently had I had done that. I'd have more power. I'd be able to make more decisions. I was very hands-on with the topics. Every single day I'm sending topics into our production team. Like I'm very hands-on with, let's talk about this. I saw this tweet. Let's do this. We have a good team that also works very hard with finding the topics and doing the research. And I shout out to Justin Hart at Fox and Jerome.
Really good.
They're really, really, really good. And so immediately they sent out like contracts to the guys. And it was like a 6-week thing. Like that's how they do shows at Fox. So they'll start, let's give it like 6 weeks and see. The numbers just kept going up and up. So 6 weeks turned to another 6 weeks, then turned to a year. So then now we're on every Friday. And someone in the group chat of the producers, I don't know who it was, came up with the idea. We was playing around with different, titles, and TGIF just fit. And I was like, I like that. But that was another mistake I made. I should have said, no, let me do it. And this is my thing. I didn't. Mm-hmm. And in my enthusiasm to just get it on the air, I wasn't thinking selfishly or I wasn't protecting myself. So that's how that goes. So people think I have all this power. When James was there, he definitely took my opinion into consideration about the cast, about the topics, about the vibe. He said, listen, I didn't make this show. You brought this show to us. I have nothing to do with the success of this. You brought the show here.